Hey there, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of your accountability tools for Manifest Success. We're going to be going over the whiteboard for just a couple minutes. And remember, this is going to be a living, breathing document. This is something that you're going to want to check in with every day, probably at the minimum, just to make sure that you're staying on top of your business. You will start using this form when you have a real estate conversation in your communications that are going to be tracked on the previous video document, which is the core weekly action plan. So when you have those conversations, you're going to start over here in the red column. That is where you're going to be just meeting these people. Like it says, warm leads, just mets, just referreds. So anybody that might be a potential client to move across this form will actually be in this red column. Once you get a little bit more into the conversation, you might find out that maybe they have some credit repairs to do, some home repairs to do for sellers, and they're going to move over into this warm list. I would say that this could be up to 2 years out, and it might be even further out if you've got a solid conversation going on with people. So just let these tops of these columns be your guides on who will be in what column. But these are also considered B prospects as well. The hot list is people that are pretty ready to go. They're talking to a lender if they're a buyer. They're getting approved. We would prefer a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification because in the approval process, they're doing a little bit more documentation into the lender. So you would prefer to get that in place. If you have a seller, you're going to be looking at them doing some repairs on their house, maybe some decluttering, maybe getting a storage unit, some things like that. They're really getting serious about getting their home on the market. And buyers are looking really seriously about purchasing in the next, I would say, 6 months to 90 days range, that way that they're really moving forward. The goal of this whole form is to track them going across. So your active business, that would be classified as a buyer that's actively in your car. They are ready to make offers, they are looking at properties, and they are pre-approved to purchase. If you're looking at a seller, they are active once the sign is in the yard. You have agency agreements with both of those types of clients, and they're ready to go. So once your active buyers are in your car, they're going to bounce back and forth between the active buyer and the hot list. So if they move back and forth, that's okay. Don't get discouraged if they're active 1 week and then they're in the hot list again the next, because there's so many factors that are playing a part in that buyer's movement. So don't be discouraged. Just know that it's part of the process. And our goal is obviously to get them under contract and then closed. And so how you're going to fill this out is we're going to start with your warm list. Let's say you've got Sandy, and she's looking to sell her home, and it's listed at 500 is what you're estimating. Is that, I can't tell. And then you're going to shoot for 3%, because as a listing agent with our company, the lowest you can absolutely go is 2.2, but we don't want that to happen. We want you to make 3% and the buyer's agent to do 3%. So if you need some clarification on that, we will definitely go over that in the contracts portion of the training. So once Sandy is getting through the process, you're going to basically move her literally from one column to the next. You're going to do copy and you're going to paste for every step that she gets in. You want to make sure that she's taken out of the ones she moved out of, because your numbers will be off. So Sandy's now in the hot list. She's really getting ready to get her house on the market, and the sign's almost in the yard, so we're going to keep her there. Sandy's an amazing client, so she's also a buyer. Sandy is going to downsize. So she is going to buy for 300. And typically a buyer's agent will just roughly estimate around 2.8. So do you see how it's calculating over here in your gross commission income? That's your gross. That's what we count for your split levels. It also is what your gross earnings are. At the bottom of the columns, it tallies up what your gross commission is as well as your production. So if you're saying I want to do $200,000, that's why you want to make sure that these columns are completely filled and that you're tracking, because you might be sitting on that income and you don't even know it. So that's why this is so important. I need to see this every week, because if you're filling this out but you're not filling out your core weekly action plan, that's telling me that you're not feeding your funnel because you're so involved with what's currently under contract contract. It's a huge downfall for agents because they forget to feed the funnel and then they get those dips in their business. Another thing that I'm looking for is if this is getting any activity. Maybe you're doing so many conversations on your core weekly, but you're just not having any activity on your whiteboard. That could mean that maybe we're just not having those crucial real estate conversations that we need to hit a little bit harder and maybe be a little bit more aggressive with our people and add more serious clients to our sphere. So that's pretty much the overview of this. I would love for you guys to be sending this to me each Monday prior to Manifest, along with your core weekly action plan, so I can see how you progress over the 8-week session. If you have any questions, please email me, and we will also go over any questions that you have in Manifest so that other people can hear your questions and maybe some struggles that they're having, and you'll all learn from each other. So that's about it. I don't want to take up any more of your time, but please be filling this out and send it to me, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks.